As you know, Presidents Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin spoke yesterday amid growing concerns over Russian troop buildup near Ukraine. To help us break it all down, let's bring in the former chief of staff of the Trump National Security Council and Newsmax contributor, Fred Fleitz. Welcome back to Wake Up America, Fred. Happy New Year to you.
Good to be here. Happy New Year.
Well, hey, I wanted to get your take, Fred. What did you make of the call between Putin and President Biden that, frankly, lasted less than an hour long?
I said this to you yesterday. Why did Putin ask for this call? It's almost unheard of. And I think there's two reasons. Putin knows that Biden is in political trouble and thinks this is probably a good time to get a deal. And Biden did make some concessions yesterday. He said, we're not going to send troops into Ukraine, which I might add is the right move. And we're not going to put missiles there. But, I'm thinking of there's another possibility. I suspect that Putin, and I don't know that this is likely, he may be deciding to invade Ukraine anyway, and he's scoping out how Biden will react. He's actually gathering intelligence on how our weak president.
Let me ask you this, Fred. I appreciate that because I think you bring up a good point. I heard you say that, we shouldn't put troops there. We shouldn't put missiles there in Ukraine. But is it the right decision to announce that we're not, to take that off the table? Was that the right decision?
I think that domestically, that President Biden should say, we're not going to send troops into Ukraine. I don't know if it was a great idea to state this to Putin, but I think it should be our position that we're not going to get in more unnecessary wars. I've been saying this for some time. I don't want to see Ukraine invaded, but we don't have any strategic interests there. And maybe he shouldn't have said it to Putin yesterday, but I think this should be a policy of the United States that we're not going to intervene militarily in Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm certainly no, foreign policy expert, but I certainly think that, anything we can do to contain Russia is in America's national best interest. But as you know, the White House has said that Biden urged Russia to de-escalate tensions with Ukraine, and he made clear that the United States and its allies and partners will respond decisively if Russia further invades Ukraine. Are we really prepared to respond decisively? Is that really on the table for us? And is Putin really afraid of the threats of new sanctions against Russia at all? Do you think that he's going to respond to the sanctions, the threat of sanctions, rather?
No, I don't think that's going to happen at all. This is what the Obama-Biden administration said in 2014 when Putin invaded Ukraine. And then after it invaded, Obama and Biden laid down red lines, warning them to get out and impose sanctions on Russia. If it didn't get out, Russia ignored them. And I suspect that if there's an invasion, it will be in areas of eastern Ukraine, which are mostly ethnic Russians. There will be some sanctions, and Putin knows eventually they'll go away.
Well, as you know, this call comes roughly 2 weeks before American and Russian diplomats are scheduled to meet in Geneva. Why did this phone call happen in the first place? I think you hinted at that, but I'd like to get your firm opinion about why did Putin ask for the call to start with?
Well, I think it deals with Biden's weakness and maybe to scope Biden out, but it also could be to influence these upcoming talks, which Putin would like to use to negotiate or renegotiate NATO's mandate, to make it weaker along Russia's border, to make it impossible to hold military operations along this border, to make sure that Ukraine is never a member of NATO. So that may be a major reason that this was held, but the bottom line is this is Putin trying to exploit Biden's weakness.
No question about that. I think what we know about President Trump is he always led from a place of strength, and we're just not seeing that, and I think we're paying the price for it. But as the year comes to an end, I reflect on the campaign and where we heard so much about Joe Biden being a foreign policy expert. He's been in government for 46 years. How would you rate President Biden's performance on foreign policy thus far?
I mean, no question he gets an F, and it's not just because of Afghanistan. It's because he has demonstrated weakness across the board, weakness and confusion, and unserious foreign policy. I don't know what his China policy is other than trying to get the Chinese to agree to a climate change agreement that the Chinese think is a joke. It's been a bad year for our country, and we really have to have major changes in 2022. It should start with Biden cleaning out his foreign policy advisors and bringing in some serious people.
Fred, I think you're exactly right. It has been a tough year for the United States under President Biden, and I'm concerned that our allies and our enemies are paying attention, and I'm hoping for a better 2022, but I'm not very optimistic. Well, thank you, Fred. Happy New Year to you. Any New Year resolutions that you got planned?
Well, I'm starting a new job on Monday, but I'm not prepared to announce that yet.
Well, we'll wait by anxiously.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.